Hi there, and welcome to today's YouTube guitar lesson. In this guitar lesson, I'd like to talk about drop 2 and drop 3 chords. Now, I'm going to start by explaining what drop 2 actually means, and I'm going to show you some different inversions on different string sets. If you'd like the tab and notation for anything that I'm going to be talking about, if you look below this video, there's a link to an article on my website which has each chord written out in full notation and in tabs. So if I'm going through the fingerings a bit quick, just load that up and you should be fine. So as I said, I'm going to show you how to play drop 2 chords, and I'm going to show you how to convert them to drop 3 chords as well. All of these examples are just going to be in C major, in C today. I'm just going to be applying them to major chords, so they're all going to be C major 7s of some kind. So let's get zoomed in and let's check out some drop 2 and drop 3 chords. So let's just think about chords for a minute. When we first start to learn the guitar, the first kind of chords that we learn are stacked in thirds. For example, if we take a C chord in open position, a C cowboy chord, that starts on a C note on the 3rd fret of the A string, a third above that is E, a third above that is G, and if we want to make that a C major 7, a third above that is B, the open B string. A C major 7th chord stacked in thirds. So if we want to move that further up the neck, we can play this. Same note, just on a different string set. I have my C, the root, on the 10th fret of the D string, 3rd on the G string, 5th on the B, and then major 7th on the top E string. C major 7 stacked in thirds. So this term, drop 2 chord, what that means is we drop the second note from the top of the chord, which is the G. You know, the top note would be the B natural. The second note from the top would be the G, and we drop it down an octave. So if we have to get that G and play it on a lower octave, we can play it there, but I want to play it there just for now. So that means we're going to have to rethink this chord a bit. We still have the 7th, major 7th on the top E string, 7th fret. We have nothing on the B string now. We have E, the 3rd on the 9th fret of the G string. Then we have the root on the 10th fret of the D string. And then we have the 5th on the 10th fret of the A string. So that is a drop 2 C major 7 chord voicing, but we have this string here doing nothing. And a more conventional fingering we could use for that is this. We still have the same notes: 5, root, 3rd, 7th, 5, root, 3rd, 7th, but we're just playing it like this. Some of you may know this as an A minor 9 chord, but it's also a C major 7 chord. That's our first drop 2 chord voicing. You're probably starting to realise that there's a few different ways that we can play drop 2 on the guitar. So this is just one way to play it, which has the 7th on top, the major 7th. What if we wanted to have the root on the top? There's the root. We can build a drop 2 around that. So if we wanted to do that, the major 3rd can go to being the 5th. So we have these two notes. The root can go towards being the 3rd, and the 5th can go to being the major 7th, which gives us this, a drop 2 chord with the root on the top. And at this point I should just say that all these fingerings are suggestions. They're the way that I find them comfortable, but you may want to experiment with different fingers. There, I'm sort of barring 2 strings of one finger, but you can find a different voicing where you use a finger per string or whatever. So that's the voicing with the 7th. This is the voicing with the root on the top. So the next arpeggio note to go to would be to have the 3rd on the top. And the formula for this one, we have the 3rd on the top on the 12th fret of the top E string. We have the major 7th, the 5th, and then on the 10th fret of the D string we have the root. So just to recap, we have this voicing with the 7th on top, this voicing with the root on the top, and this voicing with the 3rd on the top. if you look on my website, you can find tab for all of these and notation as well. So that what note we're missing now? Well, we need to have the fifth on the top as well. Seventh, root, third, and fifth on top. This is a really nice voice in here. I've got the fifth on the top, the root, the major seventh, and then the third. So we now have 4 different ways in which we can play drop 2 chords on the top 4 strings of the guitar. We have an inversion with the fifth on the top, an inversion with the third on the top, an inversion with the root on the top, and an inversion with the major seventh on the top. 4 different ways. Now each of these intervallic formulas can be applied to the inner strings of the guitar, strings 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now if we go back to the drop 2 inversion with the third on the top, the formula for this inversion is root, fifth, major seventh, major third. Root, fifth, major seventh, major third. As you can tell, they have a similar sound. The one on the middle strings is a little bit darker. So that's the first inversion applied to the middle strings. Let's take the inversion with the seventh on the top. The formula for this is fifth, root, third, seventh. And if we apply it to the middle strings, fifth, root, third, seventh. And I use this finger in here for this chord. As you can hear, they sound similar again. So the formula for the drop 2 chord with the root on top is 7, 3, 5, 1. We can apply it to the middle strings. 7, 5, 3, 1. And use this fingering. You can also play that in open position as well. So the drop 2 chord we have left is the voicing with the fifth on the top. Now this voicing has an E and a B next to each other, which can be kind of a big stretch for this next chord, so I like to play this in classical position. And I'll get more into the technique for this chord in a minute. But let's just get the formula. So we have third, seventh, root, fifth. So third, seventh, root, fifth. So that's the fingering. It is a tricky one to get. But it is possible with a bit of work. So there we have it. We have 4 different ways we can play drop 2 chords on the top 4 strings and 4 different ways we can play drop 2 chords on the 4 middle strings. So the next type of chords that I like to look at are what are called drop 3 chords. Now if we go back to that C major 7th with the 7th on top, we can actually put this note on the top E string on the bottom E string of the guitar. And that's classed as a drop 3 C major 7th with the 7th in the bass. If we go to another inversion with the root on top, we can put that on the bass, but we have to refinger that a bit. This gives us this C major 7 chord, and now if you're playing jazz, this is a really good one to know because it's really good for comping. That's the second drop 3 chord. Next inversion, with a third on the top, we can flip that, put that on the low E string, and that will give us this chord. And the last one to do is the one with the 5th on the top. And if you remember before that note was there, we don't have to refinger this, we can just get the 3rd finger and put that there. So there you have it, drop 3 chords on the bottom strings of the guitar. Now, you know, an easy way to separate the difference between drop 3 chords and drop 2 chords. Drop 2 chords are always on adjacent string sets, so they never have a string missing. We always have all the strings are next to each other, but a drop 3 chord will always have a choked string. In this case it's the A. So there we have major 7, drop 2 and drop 3 chords for the guitar. Now that you understand what drop 2 and drop 3 chords are, and you have a few different inversions under your fingers, the next step will be to convert these to dominant 7th chords, and you can do that by lowering the 7th, the major 7th in each one, by a half step. It would be a B flat in the key of C, and that will give you different C7 chords. And I'm going to make another video that goes into more detail about them and how you can convert them to diminished and dominant 7 flat 9 chords, but there's nothing to stop you getting ahead and having a go at doing that yourself. You can even go a step beyond that and then convert the dominant 7s to minor 7 chords, and then the minor 7 chords to half diminished chords, and you could even do minor major 7 chords if you want. But I just wanted this video to be an explanation and an introduction to drop 2 and drop 3 chords. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, I'd appreciate it if you could give it a like, and please subscribe to this channel as well, because I always post free jazz and blues guitar lessons, so if you subscribe to this channel you'll never miss a new video. So thanks again for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next lesson.